Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sadhu Sadhu Jadai Natini Chojita Khana Mancharaja Hare Krishna. So we will do series of lectures on this topic, philosophy behind chanting Hare Krishna. So under this heading there are many topics, and these topics are taken from Bhagavad Gita as it is purports. Just like first topic is Dharma and chanting holy names. Second topic is Vedanta, Adhyatma and chanting holy names. Vedanta, spirituality and chanting holy names. So these two topics, they come from Bhagavad Gita as it is, 2.46 purport. Yavanartham, that verse is Yavanartha udapane sarvata samplutodakitavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. So like this. Then like that. So today we will take this Dharma and chanting holy names. I don't know whether we will finish, but anyway, we will try to cover as much as possible. We have less time. So Dharma, what is Dharma? First thing is that Dharma is the special prerogative of human beings. Dharma is what distinguishes human beings from animals. You all know that famous verse from Hitopadesha. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanyametat pashubi narana dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubi samana. There is another verse which says, means same verse with a different reading. Jnano hi tesham adhiko vishesho jnanena hina pashubi samana, like that. It's something like that, because different schools, they promote different aspects of Vedic knowledge. Just like in Vedanta Sutra, the first verse is Atato Brahma Jidnyasa. Similarly, Mimamsa Sutras of Jaimini start with Atato Dharma Jidnyasa. Now you inquire about Dharma. Anyway, that is a different topic. So, dharmena hina pashubi samana. But we can logically understand that dharma is what distinguishes human beings from animals. So, for that, how it is, like I said, logically, it makes sense that this dharma is the factor which distinguishes human beings from animals. That means then we should understand what is the meaning of dharma there in that verse. So there are different meanings of dharma. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, that Savai Pumso Paro Dharmo Yatho Bhakti Radhokshaje. Prabhupada defines dharma as occupation. Prabhupada, he says that we have purposefully denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. So that which dharma means that which sustains one's existence. what sustains our existence. In material plane, in material platform, Varnashrama Dharma sustains our existence. We cannot survive without Varnashrama Dharma. Nowadays there is lot of this word is a buzzword in the society, sustainability. Sustainable economy, sustainable this, that, so many things they talk about it. But without Varnashram Dharma, there is no sustainability. So therefore, one meaning of Dharma is Varnashram Dharma. Sanatana Dharma, which sustains our spiritual existence. So that Sanatana Dharma is ultimately engaging in devotional service to the Lord. Serving Krishna, who is Sanatana. We are living entities, we are Sanatana. So our occupational duty towards Lord, our functional duty towards Lord, that is called as Sanatana Dharma. So Sanatana Dharma is eternal functional duty towards Sanatana Lord by Sanatana living entities. So that sustains our existence. Basically Krishna consciousness, Krishna, devotional service to Krishna, bhakti, yoga. So that sustains our spiritual existence. But ultimately it is so Sanatana Dharma, bhakti yoga, savai pumsa paro dharmo. Yatho bhakti radokshaja. That is what sustains our existence. And like that there are many meanings are given about the meaning of dharma. Here dharma means regulative principles given by God. That is also one meaning of dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. That Bhagavatam verse is there in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. Dharmaraja, he is called as Dharmaraja. Yamaraja is called as Dharmaraja. Because he executes, I mean to say he is an executive person, individual, executive personality for means making sure that everyone follows Dharma. So Dharma Raja. So he says Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma is that which is are codes given by God. So they are codes given by God means they are regulations given by God. So basically dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho means regulations, regulative principles given by God are doing these 4 activities: eating, sleeping, mating, depending, according to the regulative principles given by God. That is called as dharma. So we do these things in a regulated way. Those regulations are not man-made. They are not manufactured by human beings. Like Prabhupada, he gives that dharmasya hi kamasya nendriya pritir yavo labho jiveta yavata dharmasya tattva jidnyasa nartho. I am mixing 2 verses. Yeah, Okay, jivasya tattva jidnyasa nartho yascheha karma bihi. Kamasya nendriya priti labho jiveta yavata. In this world, everyone is engaged in kama. Material existence means kama. Kama here means material desires, material sense gratification. That means eating, sleeping, mating and depending. So this eating, sleeping, mating and depending, everyone is engaged in this world. That is what is the essence of this world, sense gratification. So Prabhupada very elaborately explains here about sense gratification, that how in the material world and especially in this present society, the completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards fulfillment desires in sense gratification. So completely bewildered material civilization. So present civilization. So that means Vedic civilization was not directed towards sense gratification. Here it was directed towards jivasya tattva jidnyasa it was. But because material body is there, we need sense gratification. Therefore Prabhupada, he says that one should satisfy the senses only in so much as required for self-preservation and not for sense gratification. Because the body is made of senses which also require certain amount of satisfaction. There are regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses. So here, regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses. This is dharma actually. Dharma regulates our sense gratification. Because the body is made of senses which also require certain amount of satisfaction, there are regulative directions for satisfaction of such senses. But the senses are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. For example, marriage or combination of a man with a woman is necessary for progeny, but it is not meant for sense enjoyment. In the absence of voluntary restraint, there is propaganda for family planning, but foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is search for the absolute. Anyway, so here Prabhupada is giving example of regulative principle, marriage as a regulative principles. So in modern society, people do not know what is the purpose of marriage. They think that marriage is license for sex. That is a conception of modern society. Now sex is available anywhere, so they think that okay, why we should get married, or I can divorce my wife and get a new one. But marriage is a code given by God himself. It's a regulative principles given by God. And so another point I made, that we cannot manufacture regulative principles. Dharma cannot be manufactured. Prabhupada used to often say this. So now you see, everyone wants to make it their own dharma. So many religious groups have sprung up by the mercy of Kali Maharaj. But dharma cannot be given. Dharma is given by God himself. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Or we make our own laws. Every country has its own legal system. One thing is that human society, that dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho. We see that there are so many legal, every nation, every state has its own legal system. That shows that human society is run by legal system. This is what this is how human beings are distinct from animals. Because in animal society there is no legal system. So we see that even in most bewildered civilization, degraded civilization, there is some kind of legal system. But the problem with a man-made legal system, when we manufacture our own regulative principles, then we will not be elevated to human state of consciousness. We will be degraded to animals. For example, now it is not illegal to live together before marriage. It is not illegal to have extra marital relationship. Our divorce also has been legalized. You can apply for divorce and you will get divorced if you are not interested in continuing marriage. So then we will become like, then there is no meaning to marriage of the conception. There is no meaning to marriage, and so then marriage will become a farce. Now that is the status of present society, bewildered society. So marriage is a code given by, regulative principle given by God Himself, given in Dharma. So where God has given these regulative principles, that should be the next question. So for that, in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, again servants of Yamadutas, when they were asked by Vishnu Dutas, you are servants of Yamaraj, who is a Dharmaraj, who knows the religious principle, who knows Dharma. So therefore, another thing, this word religion and Dharma are not equivalent. That we should know, although it is in general it is translated as religion. Dharma is translated as religion in English, but anyway. So you should know what is Dharma. Yamadutas, they answered, Veda pranahito dharmo adharmas tad viparya Vedo narayana sakshat swayambur iti shushuma. Vedas are given in the Dharma is given by Vedas. Vedas give Dharma. Veda pranahito dharmo adharmas tad viparya. Not following Vedas is adharma. Then the question arises, what about this? They are not Dharma. Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, they don't accept Vedas. They are not Dharma in the strict technical sense of term Dharma, if you see. Because anything opposed to Vedas is adharma. But if you see some elements of Vedic thought there, that can be accepted as at least some lower dharma. We have to see how they correlate with elements of Vedic thought. That is how it has to be decided. But Prabhupada used to say, but there should be some religious principles in human society. Whether it is Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever it is, there should be some religious principles. At least some elevation would be there. There will be some sense that we should follow Dharma. Sense of Dharma. Anyway, Vedas, so God gives Dharma and He has given them in Vedas. Veda pranahito dharmo adharmas tad viparya. So basically it boils down to varnashram dharma. Because you see, like we gave an example of marriage. Marriage is part of varnashram dharma. Like grahastha ashrama, ashrama dharma. Grahastha ashrama begins with marriage. Right? So marriage is entrance to grahastha ashram. You are entering into grahastha ashram through the process of marriage. So in this way, how it is connected with that dharma? Now dharma in that verse, ahara nidra bhayamaitunam, it is varnashram dharma. Why? Because now sex, marriage is the regulating means for that regulates sex actually. So similarly there are regulative principles for what is that? Eating, sleeping, mating, how much to eat, how much to sleep, what to eat, what not to eat, what Brahmana should eat, what Kshatriya should eat, what Vaishya should eat, what Shudra should eat. So those who are not following them, they are kept outside as Chandalas. So in this way, there are regulative principles are there. That is, so dharmo hitesham, varnasham dharma is. Therefore, based on that verse only, Prabhupada used to say that human civilization begins with varnasham dharma, like that. So in Varnashram Dharma, there are many rules and regulations are there. So for every individual, for a brahmachari, there are different rules and regulations. Then for grahastha, there are different rules and regulations. Like in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, those qualities are mentioned. Daivi, divine qualities are mentioned. Prabhupada in the purport he says these qualities should be adopted according to one's varna and ashrama. Abhayam sattva samshuddhir jnana yoga vyavastitihi. Sannyasi should be abhaya. He should be fearless. He should keep his existence very pure. He should be fixed in knowledge. Knowledge means it begins with self-realization, Atma Jnana, Atma Vidya. We see that in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Prabhupada in the first verse purport he says, knowledge means self-realization and ignorance means bodily conception of life, he says, material attachment. Arjuna was in ignorance because he was attached and he self-realization, Atma, knowledge of self is the beginning of actual knowledge. Then it ends in knowing our sambandha, that is called as sambandha jnana, our relationship with Krishna. So that rasa tattva, it culminates in rasa jnana, our relationship with the Lord. This is knowledge. So ignorance. So human civilization begins with Varnashram Dharma. Anyway, Jnana Yoga Vyavastha, I was in that. He should be fixed in knowledge. Then Swadhyaya Sthapa Arjavam. Swadhyaya is brahmachari occupation. Studying Vedas, he is a student. Then Dhanam Dhamascha. Dhanam, giving charity, controlling senses also. He should keep his control, he should not unrestrictedly, because there is opportunity for sense gratification, he should not. Grahastha. So Grahastha should give. So in this way, like that, there are so many rules and regulations. So Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. So Brahmanas, rules and regulations are there. So in this way, there are many rules and regulations in each varna and ashrama. So these are meant for basically regulate our sense gratification, regulate our material nature, and eventually bring us to the platform of liberation. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Goal is attaining liberation from material bondage. That is Vedic civilization. So, therefore, Vedic civilization, that is actual meaning of Aryan civilization. So, Prabhupada, he defines Aryan civilization, the civilization which has liberation as its goal. That is Aryan civilization. So, this word Arya was stolen because in the 18th century, 17th century Europe, there was competition for superiority in Europe, who are best. So then Germans, Nazis, they stole this word Arya and they claimed that we are Aryans. We are the best race and we should kill everyone. But that is racism it is. So Aryan civilization is not a racism, Anyone who has liberation from material bondage as the goal of life, he is Aryan. So basically means Aryan means one who follows Varnashram Dharma. Veda is the basis of such Varnashram Dharma, because that Vedic Varnashram Dharma is described in the Vedas. So followers of Vedic culture are called as Aryans, and it is not a race. Anyone who is ready to follow Vedic civilization is Aryan. So, of course, among followers of Varnashram Dharma also there is racism. For instance, we see only one who is born in Brahmin family is a Brahmana. This is racism, racist. So there is Western racism or European racism, and there is Eastern racism. Anyway, there are so many rules and regulations in you have to do a lot of sacrifices. That Bhagavad Gita, so many things are discussed. Different kinds of sacrifices are discussed in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Jnana Yajna, Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna. And later in the 18th chapter, Krishna says that what is that verse? How it starts? Dhanam Yajna Dana Tapa Karma Na Thyajam Karyam Eva Tat Yajyo Dana Tapaschaiva Pavanani Manishinaha. So one should not give up performing Yajna Dana Tapa. These are meant for everyone. Although the form of this Yajna Dana Tapa changes from person to person. What Vaishyas will do dana, that is different. What Brahmanas will do dana, that is different. Sannyasis also should do dana. That is Jnana Dana it is called as. Once he should distribute knowledge. So, but everyone is engaged in Yajna Dana Tapa. And in that so many things are there. Studying of the Vedas, performing different kinds of sacrifices, going to holy places, taking bath in different rivers, giving charity. So many rules and regulations according to individual. But in 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Dehuti, Mother Dehuti, told it to Kapila. Kapila was Krishna himself. He had appeared as son of Dehuti. And she said, those who chant your names, so they have already performed all these things, she says. In other words, chanting Hare Krishna is perfection of Vedic Dharma. So that verse is there. We will recite this verse. Aho batasva pachato gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhuhu shashnurarya brahmanuchurnama grananti ete. Aho batasva pachato gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुः सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचूर्णाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते अहो बतस्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम् ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुः सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचूर्णाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते. O my Lord, a person who is chanting your holy name, although born of a low family like that of a Chandala or dog eater, is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Brahmanuchur nama grananti ete. So one who yajjivagre vartate nama tubhyam, on whose tongue holy name has appeared. So he is situated on the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many times after taking his bath in the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So here she says that one who takes the holy name, he has already performed all these things. Or in other words, chanting Hare Krishna mantra is the perfection of all Vedic dharma. Now, is it that one who is chanting Hare Krishna should not follow Varnashram dharma? Should not follow Vedic dharma? That question arises. So, it depends how we chant Hare Krishna mantra. If we are just satisfied chanting Hare Krishna, then there is no need. Because it's already perfection. Just satisfied, we don't need anything else. Like our Babajis or our Goswamis, they just chanted Hare Krishna mantra. And of course in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, even such persons who, before going to that point, but if one has desires for eating, sleeping, mating, depending, then he has to follow all these regulative principles, Varnashram dharma. So, then, of course, in Kali Yuga, these Varnashram dharma or any other process, there is also Pancharatrika system of deity worship. Like for example, eating, what we do, Yajna Sista Shino Santa Muchante Sarva Kil Vishay. That is Yajna Sista. Or we offer it to deities and then eat. Yajna Sista Shino Santa, that is what? Yajna Sista means remnants of the sacrifices. That is Vedic way. Then there is Pancharatrika way. You offer it to deity and take it. Offer it to Krishna and take it. That is how eating we do. But unless we chant Hare Krishna mantra, what happens? These things won't give results. In Kali Yuga, chanting Hare Krishna has to be there. Therefore, our Gaudiya Acharyas, they said, along with the sacrifices or whatever deity worship we do, there should be chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. That means those who are not liberated, Those who have still desires for eating, sleeping and mating, they should also chant Hare Krishna mantra along with following the Vedic Dharma or Pancharatrika system, whatever. Aho batasva pachato gariyanya jivagre vartate nama tubhyam tepustapate tapaste juhu shast. This is 3.33.7, and there is another verse before this which is spoken by Dehuti, 3.33.6. In that it is said, Swadopasadya Shavanaya Swadopisadya Savanaya Kalpate. By one who chants the holy names, he becomes qualified for performing Vedic sacrifices. Immediately becomes qualified for performing sacrifices. Even if he is a dog eater, it is said, or who is born in dog eaters family. Here also is say, Aho bata shwapachato, it begins with shwapacho. Shwadopi sadya, shwado means eating dog actually. Even if one has eaten dog, he becomes qualified to perform Vedic sacrifices if he chants the holy name of the Lord. That is the potency of chanting holy names. Now, generally Brahmanas perform sacrifices in Vedic culture or Varnashrama Dharma. So, Patana Patana, Yajana Yajana, Dana Pratigraha. Patana Patana, Yajana Yajana, worship, performing sacrifices, and making others to perform sacrifices. That is a function of Brahmana. And Brahmana doesn't become like that only. So he has to undergo so much training. Now he has to, first there is Janmana Jayate Shudra Samskaro Bhaved Dvijaha. Veda Pranahito Vipro Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. How one becomes a Brahmana is given in this verse. Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth one is Shudra. Samskaro Bhaved Dvijaha. By samskara, and especially Diksha samskara. There are other samskaras also. Garbhadan samskar and all other samskaras are also there. Dashavida samskara, sometime it is told, or sometimes Shodasa samskara, Dashavida. 10 kinds of samskaras are there. So among all of them, Diksha samskara is there, important. So by Diksha samskara what happens? One becomes Dvija, twice born. So Diksha is considered as second birth. Here in this verse particularly Diksha samskara is mentioned. Janmana Jayate Shudra Samskaro Bhave Dvijaha. So by samskara one becomes Dvija. Now here in this, particularly in this verse, samskara here, that word samskara is indicating Diksha samskara. Why? Because that Diksha samskara is considered as second birth. First birth is by mother and father. So it is considered as very important among all the samskaras. Why? Because birth by mother and father, everyone gets by birth by mother and father. Even cats and dogs also have mother and father. That is not the speciality. Birth is not. So Diksha samskara is considered as most important. By that we become twice born. Second birth, it is called as, Diksha is called as second birth it is. Therefore Dvija, Dvi means second, Ja means birth, second birth it is called. Samskara. So then after Diksha samskara, after Upanayana, he engages in studying Vedas. So he is called as Vipra. So then when he realizes Vedic knowledge, he is called as Brahmana. Then he is trained into all the Vedic mantras and he is trained how to perform Vedic sacrifices. He is Brahmana. So it is a very long and a very intense training it is to make one a Brahmana. Brahmana will not just appear like from a tree. From tree, fruits fall from the tree, leaves fall from the tree, So it is not like Brahmana will be born like that. So it is an intense training it is. Then how it is here, it is told that just by chanting one becomes a Brahmana. That means he becomes eligible candidate, means his consciousness is, by conscious he becomes eligible. He earns the eligibility, that purification, that character. And of course, then to perform sacrifices, he also has to undergo. One who is chanting Hare Krishna also has to undergo that training, right or not? So in this way, so Jiva Goswami in his commentary on that verse, he says that even if one is chanting Hare Krishna, he has to undergo that training like that. Anyway, our discussion is that here one who chanting, even in chanting there are different levels are there, Nama Parada, Nama Abhasa and Shuddha Nama. So what kind of chanting is mentioned in this verse? That he has already attained the perfection of all the Vedic performances or Vedic Dharma, one who is chanting the holy names of the Lord. So there is second stage of chanting called as Namabhasa, where one gets liberation from material bondage. Now we discussed that Dharma is meant for regulating material nature, and one who takes Namabhasa, chants in the stage of Namabhasa, he attains liberation from material bondage. It is said. At least our chanting should be on that level. That is what this verse speaks. Aho batashvapachato garyan yajivagre vartate namatubhyam. If one takes Shuddha Nama, that is well and better, well and good. But at least on the stage of... So others who are still not chanting on that stage, they have to follow other methods also. Pancharatrika Vidhi is there, then Varnashrama Vidhi is there, Vedic Vidhi it is called as, Vedic system. Varnashrama Vidhi is there. So these are, they are supportive element, they support the chanting holy names. So in this way, sometime there is this controversy issue that those devotees, those who are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, those who are taking the holy names, based on this verse they can make a controversy. Aho batasvapachato garyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapohu juhu shashnurare. There are many verses, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Naham vipro na chanarapatir, napi vaisho na shudro, Naham varni na grahapatir va Kintu prodyan nikila paramananda purnamratabder gopir bhartur padakamalayor dasa dasa anudasa. So like that he said, I am not Brahmana Kshatriya, not all this Varna and Ashrama, I am eternal servant. So like that they make controversy that those who are chanting, they don't need Varnashram Dharma. But then argument is, then you don't need to eat and sleep also and have sex also. You just chant Hare Krishna. Then why you want sex life? If you want sex life, then you need marriage. That is Vedic system, Varnashrama system. That is Grahastha Ashrama, one of the ashramas among the 4 ashramas. Only there sex is allowed. Or you will do some illicit sex you will recite, I am doing Nirjan Bhajan, chanting Hare Krishna in the holy place. And Some widows, women who come to holy place, I will have sex with them, like that. Markata Vairagya. Markata Vairagya means monkey Vairagya. Monkey is very renounced. It doesn't make house also. It stays from in one branch to other branch. Every day it stays in different branches of a tree, not even attached to one tree. But it keeps dozens of mates. So like that. So we will become debauchees, we will not become devotees. So these regulative principles. Eating, if you want to eat, you have to grow food. Vaishyas have to grow food. You have to maintain cows. Otherwise, the food, okay, I will buy from the marketplace, supermarket, but that is not fit for offering in the sacrifices or to offering to the deity actually. That is unfit it is. So sato vritti. Vritti should be sat. I mean to say it should be in the according to the injunctions of the Vedas. Sato vritti. So there will not be proper food if there is no varnashram dharma. That's why it is said there you cannot grow food also. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava. So the relation between dharma and food is given there. Relation between sacrifices and food, growing food. The food will not be there if you don't do it according to yajna karma samudbhava. Following prescribed duties is yajna, Vedas. Following Vedas is karma. Karma is according to Vedic injunctions. So nowadays people don't realize that relation between food and dharma. So according to that verse, Annad bhavanti bhutani, there cannot be food without varnashram dharma. Food will not grow without varnashram dharma. You cannot manufacture food in a Prabhupada used to challenge these atheists actually. You cannot manufacture food in your factories. Now this hijab controversy is going on in Karnataka. So some of the people, so-called intellectuals, they are proposing why you are giving more importance to dharma than education. Education, dharma will not give you food. It will not give you job. Education will give you job and food, they say. But they are so foolish that you cannot manufacture your food grains by doing some job or something. Anyway, that verse Annad bhavanti, what it says? We subsist on food grains. Food grains are grown because of the rain. If rain doesn't come, there cannot be food grains. You cannot manufacture food grains in your factory. You can process food. They are doing processing food and distributing it. And these foolish people think that food is coming from this food industry. So in modern days, people do not realize the relation between food and dharma. That is a foolishness, ignorance of modern society. So rain comes from performing sacrifices. Sacrifices. Yajna. Yajna means basically giving tax to demigods who control all rain and other facilities. Giving tax means what? Paying tax means expressing our gratitude towards them. So they are meant for pleasing demigods. Ultimately, Supreme Lord, Krishna.
So in this way, by following karma, karma means varnashram dharma. So in this way there would be food and rain. Of course nowadays people don't follow varnashram dharma, there is still food. But this food is not meant for human beings. Even animals, they should not eat this food. There is no food, there is no water, there is no air, proper air, basic thing. You may say we are making advancement, we are making electricity, people can be active in the night. You may call it as advancement, but that is not advancement. You don't have basic necessities of life and you are talking about progress, development, civilization and all. It's bogus, it is. This is euphemistic words. Anyway, so if we need food, if we need, of course in this age Sankirtana Yajna, that we will discuss again more in detail. If you have to engage in sex, then dharma has to be followed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Any questions, comments? ठीक है, हरे कृष्ण.